Hello, you lot. Quick field note this week rather than a full episode. Not only am I on the road right now running workshops and kicking off a project, my voice has pretty much packed its bags and left the building, as you may be able to hear. So if you're thinking this is going to be some sort of sultry after dark episode, sadly that's not the case. I just have to sit patiently wait for my voice to come back. So instead of forcing out a half-baked episode, I thought I'd share something a few of you have actually asked for, a short explainer on biomimicry itself. What it is, how it works, and how the ideas you hear in these stories that we share actually translate into real design thinking. Because while this podcast is mostly about stealing genius from beavers and octopuses and wombats and burrs and the occasional mosquito, there is a real methodology sitting underneath all of that feral fun. So this is a quick brush up, a little biomimicry primer that I recorded earlier. And a heads up, the next episode lands in 2 weeks' time, and that one's a bit different. I'm not alone in it. A very dear friend of mine joins me, and together we explore a surprisingly common human challenge, the kind that spans work and personal life, the kind where everything suddenly shifts in a room and no one quite knows how to recover, through the lens of a very unusual creature. But for now, here's your feral field note. Okay, quick one today, little bonus mini explainer, a bit of a methodology moment. We've done several episodes now of nature solving human chaos, but I haven't broken down how biomimicry works as a practice, but now it might be time. So for anyone who's curious about the technical structure behind the stories, here's your very quick primer. At its simplest, biomimicry means learning from life, from nature. Not copying how something looks necessarily, but understanding how it works, and then applying that intel to human challenges. So there are 3 levels we can learn from: form, process, and ecosystem. Form is about physical structure, like the Velcro that we shared in a previous ep, which borrowed its hook and loop design from burrs. Good on you, George. Process is about how something works, the function or behaviour. For example, termites, they keep their mounds cool using natural ventilation systems. Architects actually study that process to then design buildings that can regulate heat more naturally. Then there's ecosystem, and ecosystem is about how everything connects, designing human systems that work as seamlessly as nature's do. Think of a forest, nothing wasted, every output feeding something else. That's the inspiration behind circular economies and regenerative design. So that's biomimicry across scales, from a burr to a building to a whole living system. And here's a bit that still blows my mind. Nature's brilliance isn't about control or brute force, which is our human instinct. Remember, the mosquito episode was about perfect precision and painless impact. Or the octopus method, that brilliant, many-minded creature that can coordinate without having a boss weighing in all the time. Nature doesn't dominate its environment, it collaborates with it. Everything's feedback, flow, adjustment. That's how it stays resilient. When we practice biomimicry, we look through 3 lenses: emulate, reconnect, and ethos. Emulate is learning from nature's strategies and applying them. Reconnect is about remembering that we're actually part of this nature system, we're not outside of it. And ethos, that's the values piece, that's designing in ways that benefit life, not just humans. In innovation work, we're often building for control. Straight lines, fixed processes. Nature doesn't do that. It builds feedback loops, diversity, redundancy. It expects change and it uses it. A beaver dam flexes, as we now know. A coral reef rebuilds. And a mycelial network reroutes. It's all adaptive, responsive, alive. And that's why I find biomimicry sits so neatly alongside human-centred design and AI. Blending human empathy, nature's intelligence, and machine logic gives us systems that can learn and adapt in ways that feel more human. And here's something: context matters. Every strategy in nature evolved under specific operating conditions. The climate, the materials on hand, the energy budget, the neighbours in the system. You can't just Google cool octopus facts and slap it on a management framework and then call it biomimicry. Good biomimicry studies the context, the condition the design has to survive in, and then adapts the principles, not just the shape. And that's where the rigour comes in. When humans apply nature's design logic, not just the metaphor and the vibe, the results tend to work better for the whole system. Cleaner materials, smarter structures, regenerative loops. Biomimicry isn't about guessing what nature would do, it's about real observation, real learning. There's your biomimicry primer, quick, practical and feral. Thanks, nature. You are the best mentor we never knew we had.